Hello everyone, I Kanira Chirag, Faculty of Diploma Computer in Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. Welcome all to Lecture 4 of Unit 3 Android Activities and GUI Design. In this lecture, we will discuss about Android Activities and Android Activity Lifecycle. Android Activity. Android Activity is the main component of Android application, and activity represents a single screen with a user interface. In C and C++ and Java, programs start with main function, but in Android, program execution start with onCreate method of activity class. In Android, activity represents a single screen with a user interface of an application and will act an entry point for the user to interact with an app. Generally, the Android app will contain multiple screens, and each screen of our application will be an extension of activity class. By using activity, we can replace all our Android application UI components in single screen. From the multiple activities in Android app, one activity can be marked as main activity, and that is the first screen to appear when we launch the application. In Android app, each activity can start another activity to perform different action based on our requirements. For example, a contacts app which is having multiple activities, in that the main activity screen will show a list of contacts, and from the main activity screen we can launch other activities that provide screen to perform tasks like add a new contact and search for the contacts. All these activities in the contact app are loosely bound to other activities but will work together to provide a better user experience. Generally, in Android, there is a minimal dependency between the activities in an app. To use activities in application, we need to register those activities information in our app's manifest file, Android manifest.xml file, and need to manage activity lifecycle properly. We can create an activity by extending activity class, public class activity name, and extend activity. To use activity in our application, we need to define activities with required attribute in manifest file, Android manifest.xml file, like as shown below. The activity attribute Android gem name will represent the name of class, and we can also add multiple attributes like icon, label, name, label, theme, permission, etc. to an activity element based on our requirement. Now we will see the next topic, Android activity lifecycle. Generally in Android, activity class use different callback method like onCreate, onStart, onPause, onRestart, onResume, onStop, and onDestroy to go through a different stage of activity lifecycle. Now we will see the pictorial representation of Android activity lifecycle, which show how activity will behave in different stage using callback method in next slide. We can see the relationship between all method of Android activity lifecycle. Now we will discuss about each method in detail. First method is onCreate. This is the first callback method, and it fires when the system creates an activity for the first time. During the activity creation, activity entered into create state. If we have an application startup logic that needs to perform only once during the life cycle of an activity, then we can write that logic in onCreate method. Following is example of defining onCreate method in Android activity. Next method is onStart. Once onCreate method execution is finished, the activity will enter into started state and the system call onStart method. The onStart callback method will invoke when activity entered into started state by completing onCreate method. The onStart method will make an activity visible to the user, and this method execution will finish very quickly. Following is the example of defining onStart method in Android activity. After completion of onStart method execution, the activity enters into resume state and the system invokes onResume method. Next method is onResume. When activity entered into resume state, the system invokes onResume callback method. In this state, activity start interacting with the user. That means user can see the functionality in the designing part of an application on the single screen. Mostly the core functionality of an app is implemented in onResume method. The app will stay in this resume state until another activity happens to take focus away from the app, like getting a phone call or screen turn off, and etc. In case if any interruption event happen in resume state, the activity will enter into pause state and the system will invoke onPause method. After activity return from pause state to resume state, the system again will call onResume method. Due to this, we need to implement onResume method to initialize the components that we released during onPause method. Following is the example of defining onResume method in Android activity. If any interruption happen in resume state, the activity will enter into pause state and the system will invoke onPause method. Next method is onPause. Whenever the user leaves an activity or the current activity is being paused, then the system invokes onPause method. The onPause method is used to pause operation like stop playing the music when the activity is in pause state, or pause an activity while switching from one app to another app, because every time only one app can be focused. Following is the example of defining onPause method in Android activity. After completion of onPause method execution, the next method is either onStop or onResume, depending on what happens after activity entered into pause state. Next method is onStop. The system will invoke onStop callback method when activity no longer visible to the user. The activity will enter into stop state. This will happen due to current activity entered into resume state, or newly launched activity cover complete screen, or it's been destroyed. The onStop method is useful to release all the app resources which are no longer needed to the user. Following is the example of defining onStop method in Android activity. The next callback method which raised by system is either onRestart in case if the activity is coming back to interact with the user, or destroy in case if the activity finished running. Next method is onRestart. The system will invoke onRestart method when an activity restarting itself after stopping it. The onRestart method will restore the state of activity from the time that is being stopped. The onRestart callback method in Android activity will always be followed by onStart method. And last method is onDestroy. The system will invoke onDestroy method before an activity is destroyed, and this is the final callback method received by the Android activity. The system will invoke this onDestroy callback method either the activity is finishing or the system destroying the activity to save space. Following is the example of defining onDestroy method when in Android activity. The onDestroy method will release all the resources which are not released by previous callback onStop method. So these are the all methods which are available in Android activity lifecycle in detail. In figure we can see the real example of Android activity lifecycle using dial app. When we launch dial app, then onCreate, onStart and onResume are called, an activity launched, which is visible and active. When we open share, then on pause is called, and if sharing is cancelled, on resume is called. When we press home button, then on pause and on stop are called. When we open resend, then on start and on resume are called. When we open from resend, then on when we remove from resend, then on stop are called. And after last, we can see the app restart and screen visible and screen has been focused. So we can see the real-time example of activity lifecycle using Dial app. Thank you for watching this lecture. For more video, like our YouTube channel, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.